in us. The devil has come back, or probably the devil has been living with us. The devil never left. The devil only changed like a chameleon. Many times I come here, I tell you that the leadership of this country has deeply studied a certain book that is written in my language about the Ichuri. Was it Ichuri? Those of you who could have read that book, where Ichuri would get up, you know, distract the peace of the other members, and then run around and tell the others that there was a different enemy. So the enemy has been here, the enemy has started again, has actually renewed and rekindled his fire the way he was doing it those days long ago. Therefore now I call upon Ugandans, all Ugandans, especially people in Western Uganda, because for them when they hear some of these stories, they think that they are just stories. But now you can see it. You can see that people are abducted, people are killed, we don't know. And in fact, recently there was a caption on social media where somebody was even speaking in Ulinyankore that there are safe houses in that part of Churubura. And I can stand up and even take you and show you that safe house, although I've not been able to reach it. So there are safe houses, and they are dumping places where they dump corpses. And somebody was saying it in my language that even here in Mbarara, people have started bringing dead bodies piled on pickups and being, you know, dumped there. So the problem is here with us. We only have to get up, all of us, and join hands and see how to fight it. A lot has been said, so I am not going to take time. I'm going to take this rare opportunity, Mr. President, because I know these people are tired of standing, the young children are hungry. So can I please invite you to come and talk to the people? But meanwhile, you members of the press, please, you translate this information in other languages. It only comes in English and Luganda, but there are many other radios, or you can even share with the local radios across the country so that people know that what we are talking about is the truth. Thank you very much. Mr. President, please come.
Thank you very much. Bana musembere buli omu akwate ekipande ky'omuntu we wano wonna ne bwe mujjula ne wano wonna basebo ne banyabo. Abato bajje wano maaso. Buli alina omuntu we gwe babuzaawo ng'ekifaananyi kye osobola okifuna kikwate, njagala ensi yonna erabe nti bino si byambu. Olutalo nga luwedde tuliyambale gule, tuliyambale gule, tuliyambale gule. Olutalo nga luwedde tuliyambale gule, tulizimba mu Uganda, tuliyambala, Abantu baffe nga bazuuse tuliyambale ngule, tuliyambale ngule, tuliyambale ngule. Abantu baffe nga bazuuse tuliyambale ngule, tulizimba mu Uganda. People power, our power. Okay, I'll address you ladies and gentlemen first in English. to the press, especially the international media. Ladies and gentlemen, those who have seats can take them. This that you see here is not made up. This that you see here is real. This is just a small portion of people that have confidence to come out and demand for their people. Thousands of Ugandans were abducted. Many were killed on spot and left for dead. Very many disappeared and they've not been seen since. Ladies and gentlemen, especially the international community that supports the Museveni regime, now you know that General Museveni is running a criminal organization called NRM. Now you know that Museveni is running a terrorist state in Uganda. In your own description, terrorism is ruling over people by causing terror and extreme fear to them. Now you know that Museveni's regime is a terrorist organization. These people, up to today, are missing people. Their fathers, their brothers, their sons, their loved ones were taken away and they've never been seen again since then. We are here once again to reassert our voices and to tell Museveni and his fellow criminals that bring back our people. Mwena muchidemu to bring back our people.
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 Mukomyewo abantu baffe. Mukomyewo abantu baffe. All these people were abducted because they supported the opposition. Many of them were abducted and the claim was that they were putting on a beret like the one I'm putting on. And I challenge those cowards to arrest me too. Those people who were arrested for supporting me. Why don't you arrest me? Therefore, why don't you take me away too, you bloody cowards? Why don't you arrest me for wearing this beret and charge me in the court of law? You bloody coward, you old coward. Why do you have to kill people's children? Why do you have to cause such pain to people? You have families too. You have children too. Why do you have to take us through this? After you killed more than 500,000 of our people, we paid enough price. Why does this have to happen in 2022? Ladies and gentlemen, we hold Museveni personally accountable because Museveni, in one of his lousy addresses during the COVID time, he came out and owned these people. Museveni read out the names of many of these people and said they were holding them. But that was the last we heard about them. Museveni himself came out and said his son and his criminal gang called SFC was responsible for abducting these people. That was the last they talked about them. JJ Odong came out and read out these names on the floor of Parliament and confirmed that they have these people. That is the last we've heard about them. Bring back our people.
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 Just yesterday, I was talking to a young man called Sali Abdul. He's one of the people that was lucky enough to return from those terrible dreaded safe houses. He told us sickening stories. He was arrested, he was abducted together with his brother. His brother was killed. He was beaten so bad and he succumbed to his injuries. His brother was burnt down in a drum as Abdul was watching. These and very many horrifying stories are ongoing in our country. A country we all call home, ladies and gentlemen. Chibalama John Bosco was my neighbor in Seta. He would walk to my house, I would walk to his house. They abducted him from Chadondo East. 2019, we have never seen or heard from him again. Bring back our people.
Bring back our our
We say,
people.
bring back our people.
Bring back our people.
Ladies and gentlemen, especially you, the international community, we address you because we want you to know that the situation in Uganda is very many times worse than Idi Amin. Museveni, who President Clinton in some yesteryears called a new breed of leaders in Africa, is now many times worse than Idi Amin. He kills people for disagreeing with him. He kills people for using their brains. He kills people, abducts them, and forces them to disappear forever for exercising their constitutional rights. And that is why we are not we are not fearing anymore to demand for our people. Many of them are missing because they put on this beret. And I repeat the challenge. I challenge you, Museveni, to arrest me and charge me in any court of law for wearing this beret. You old coward. You have disrespected your age. Mutumazemu akobuntu, mutumazemu obuntu bulamu. Lwaki temutuwa abantu baffe? Recently, the European Union Parliament passed a resolution stopping the construction of the ECOP pipeline. And among the reasons raised was abuse of human rights, gross abuse of human rights. It's interesting that Museveni, for the first time, said he's going to court. Since when did Museveni start respecting the law? And yes, Museveni, using our children, he lied to them that they're meeting student leaders only to hoodwink them to go and protest for his interests. This is the same person that killed hundreds of unarmed civilians, including women and children, on the 18th and 19th of November 2020 for protesting. And now he believes in protest. It's at this exact time that I want to encourage all of you to know that protesting and demonstrating works. So please, whoever can, please demonstrate and protest, demanding for your people. Ladies and gentlemen, we can say more and more and more and more, but we're not going to cry and cry and cry. Now we know that the international community, at least to some extent, has started disassociating itself with Museveni. We have been telling you constantly that we move across the world exposing Museveni, telling those people who have been the wind beneath Museveni's wing to stop sponsoring genocide in Uganda, to stop sponsoring this. International community, this is what you're paying for. Every time you give money to Museveni, this is exactly what you're sponsoring here in Uganda. We thank you for taking some steps, but we still want more. We've been calling for sanctions against Museveni, his sons, and so many people that he uses to kill, abduct, and torture our people. We got sanctions against Kandiho. We got sanctions against many others. We want sanctions against Museveni himself, his son, and many of his family members who are culpable for this. We know that following our outcries, iPod packed up and left. We know that DGF closed shop. But we want more. We want all world democracies to disassociate themselves with the criminal gang that is in charge of our country. Stop sponsoring terrorism against innocent Ugandans. Now this is my message and my call first to the people of Uganda. Now you know that protesting works, because even Museveni, after failing to intimidate the international community with his guns, now he's using our children to protest. So if Museveni is protesting for a right to steal our national wealth, why don't you believe in the right to protest for your own freedom? I encourage you to protest. Museveni cannot massacre us anymore. He knows the international community has him on camera.
Our power!
Yachidamune mu Luganda. Naye sikati. My message again to the leaders, the political leaders, Not only those in NUP, but all the leaders that care for their people. I see you every day on TVs and radios discussing irrelevant issues. This is the business you're supposed to be discussing. There's no policy issue you're going to discuss when people are enslaved. These are slaves in their own motherland. Why don't you discuss this modern day slavery? These are the issues to raise or to protest about. These are the issues to stand for. Our people are slaves. Our children have no fathers or mothers. This is what you should be addressing. Not the light issues that you'll be talking about. Right now, you know that one of you that masquerades to be in the opposition is actually being used by the real king of terrorists called Museveni to shut your mouth. After shooting you on the streets for protesting non-violently, you went online to protest. But now, they want to make it a crime to film and expose those murderers that are abducting our people. So to you, the leaders, rise to the occasion and be on the right side of history, or else you will follow Museveni in the dustbin of history. My message to other leaders, religious leaders, our fathers and mothers in the Almighty God, we are in church or in mosques every day. You are telling us to be peaceful, but are you being honest? Can you be at peace when you're not free? Can any of these children be at peace? Can any of these wives or brothers or mothers be free? Be at peace when their children are not with them? So be honest. You are representing God. Speak the truth. The most respectable religious leaders that we hail, that we celebrate up to today, stood for what is right. Back in the day, so many young people used to believe in religion. So many young people used to fill the churches and mosques. Part of the reason why young people are losing interest in religion is because religion in many ways does not stand for them. Please rise to the occasion and be the religious leaders worth your name. Speak for what is right. My message also will go to the traditional leaders, the cultural leaders. You are our fathers. You are the custodians of our identity. Many people are disappearing. This should be an issue. It should be a big issue in your offices. Speak and speak loud about your people. Many of them are disappeared for years, months, weeks, or days. Speak about them, please. Also, my message will go to the journalists. You, the journalists, many of you are being used even against your own vocation. You know, you journalists have been beaten up, you've been humiliated. Unfortunately, many of you, in just a matter of days, you are on your knees begging for crumbs from your oppressors. Be worth your name. Be worth your title as you journalists. Because what you're defending will turn around and come eat you. You know that our sister Bahati Remi, after exposing the regime to the United Nations, has had her family members abducted. But not just her, also all of you. Nobody is safe until we are all safe. I say none of you will be safe until we are all safe. Finally, to my fellow artists, and I'm very, very glad that we have some of them here. We salute you, friends. You have a very big, loud voice. Use it for your people. If you're not using your voice and your talent for your people, you are using it against your people. Art has not started with our generation. But it's very easy for art to die with our generation because we have a coward who is so scared of creativity and is doing everything to shut your mouth. Unfortunately, you're helping him. So, mweberere munamu. Kati kambi ugere mu Luganda. Basebo ne banyabo. Abantu bemulaba wano bali wano si ku kinyuma. Bemulaba wano batono nnyo. Kwabo abanyigiriziddwa, kwabo abalina family member be bawamba. bano abaana bemulaba abamu bazaaliddwa nga bataata baabwe babuzibwawo. Tebabuzibwawo ku mulembe gwa Amin, babuzibwawo ku mulembe guno gwa Museveni. Museveni ne batuju banne be bababuzaawo. Bano abantu bemulaba abantu baabwe bawambibwa, tebatwalibwa ku poliisi, babuzibwawo. Ekyo kibalage mwenna ti gavumenti ya Museveni y'abatuju. Abantu bano bemulaba famire zaabwe bezibanja banji kubo. Museveni yavaayo kwemu ku national address ze n'abasoma amanya gaabwe nti ono tumuyina nono tumuyina nono tumuyina. Bwe byakoma tebaddangamu kuwulizibwa. Museveni kenyini yavaayo n'akyogera nti abawamba abantu abo ke kabinja ka SFC akakulirwa mutabani we. Tebaddangamu kulabika. Jeje Odongo yavaayo mu parliament n'asoma amanya g'abantu bano nti babayina, tebaddangamu kulabikako paka olwaleero. So nate tusubira eddoboozi yaffe nga tugamba Museveni ne banne ti mukomyewo abantu baffe. Tuddamu mukomyewo abantu baffe, mukomyewo abantu baffe. Abaana mugambe mukomyewo bataata baffe, kiddemu mukomyewo bataata baffe. Baana bange eyawamba abantu bammwe ye Museveni. Mukiwulidde? Museveni ne batemu banne bawamba abantu bammwe nga babawamba kubanga bampagira, nga babawamba kubanga baagala okubateekerawo Uganda eyeyagaza. Uganda gye munaayabeera nga muli ekyeggulo n'ekyemisana nga musoma amasomero amalungi. Babawamba kuba baali bambadde akakofiira ng'akange. Ekyewunyisa abatiitiiza abo mbasoomozezza emirundi mingi ne bagamba bamu abawamba ku lwange, lwaki nange temujja ne munkwata ne muntwala mu kooti bwe mbanga nyina omusango, bwe kubanga okumpagira musango. Lwaki nange temujja ne munkwata ne muntwala mu kooti bwe kubanga okwambala enkofiira musango. So tuli wano olwaleero basebo ne banyabo nga tubanja abantu baffe kubanga tubaagala. Bangi nnyo bamisinga bano bemulaba be bafunye omutima omugumu okuvaayo kubanja abantu baabwe. Muwulidde omukyalo omu ng'agamba nti babatiisatiisa, famire nnyingi zaasirika, bangi bawaŋŋanguka badduka mu ggwanga kuba baali banoonyezebwa. Bano be batono abasobodde okuvaayo ku lw'abangi okubanja abantu baabwe. Mukomyewo abantu baffe. Nabadde njogera n'omuvubuka omu gwe bayita Abdusali, y'omu ku basavaivinga abaavaayo bamukubyekubye emiggo, bamugambye tuddamu okubaako kyoyogera. Yatunyumiriza emboozi eyungula eziga, yatunyumiriza bamukwata ne muganda we ye bamukuba nnyo n'atasobola kuwona era yafiira mu ekyo kiyumba mwe baali. Muganda we ne bamussa mu kiduramu ne bamukumako omuliro n'asirika n'aggwawo. Olwo lumu ku ngero ennyingi ennyo eziri mu bantu. Ebyo byonna byonna bikolebwa Museveni kubanga atya mmwe abantu. Kibalama yali neiba wange, Kibalama John Bosco yali abeerawo seeta. Ngulumu atambula najja nambuzaako nga newuwe ku ntambuzaawo bigere. Bamuwamba 2019 taddangamu kulabika. Mukomyewo abantu baffe. Basebo ne bannyabo. Honorable Senyonyi akyogeddeko nja kiddamu nti olunaku lwaleero Museveni alina buyinza ki obuvumirira Idi Amin nga byakoze bikubisa mu bikolobero bibagamba Idi Amin bye yakola emirundi mingi. Ate kufa abanoonyereza ennyo basebo ne bannyabo, nammwe njagala mukimanye nti Museveni kye kibadde ekizibu kya Uganda okubira ddala mu mirembe gy'enkaaga. Nkiddamu, Museveni has been Uganda's problem since the 1960s. Gyebuvuddeko twabadde tujjukira Ben Kiwanuka era nga intelligence ebiseera ebyo yalaga nti emotoka yamuwamba yali UU2, yali Pigeon. Narrative gye batuwa ffenna yawambirwa abasajja ba Amin. Ne Museveni yali azoganya Amin ebiseera ebyo. Bw'ogenda n'osoma ekiwandiiko kya mutabani wa Amin, Hussein Lumumba Amin, kyenjobba encouraging mwenna bannamawulire wadde bangi temwagala bijjayo ebyo, ojja kuzuula nti emotoka yali ya Museveni. Era emotoka ng'emaze okukola ekikolobero ekyo yaddamu neerabirwa Embaale bw'ogenda n'osoma ekitabo kya Museveni sowing the mustard seed n'olaba emmotoka eyo n'olugero lwe yali anyumya n'ebyali byetoolodde emmotoka eyo, kizibu nnyo okuwakanya omuntu akugamba nti Museveni be baawamba Beni Kiwanuka kubanga baali baagala kuzoganya Amini n'omulabisa. Era ekyo kyongera okukakasa ebigambo bya Kayindo Tavire beyogera nga baziika yali Adonia Tebelundwa mu West eyo, n'agamba bayambalanga ebyambalo by'amagye g'Obote ne bagenda ne batemula abantu basobole okukyayisa Obote. Olunaku lwaleero Museveni y'omu yakijjanya eggwanga. Komyawo abantu baffe. Tekitunyumira kubeera wano nga tulina abaana nga babawambako abantu baabwe. Ne tulina okusitula amaloboozi gaffe basebo ne bannyabo kubanga bwe batyo bakola. Twababulira tumaze ebbanga nga twetolola ensi yonna nga tutegeezaaga amawanga agateeka Museveni ssente, agenda neewola ssente nga azeewola mu mannya g'abaana abaana bawambira bakitaabwe, azeewola mu mannya gaffe ffe tugenda ozisasula bano abaana balina ozisasula, naye azeewola asobole okusasula abatemu abawamba abaana baabwe. Tuze tugamba amawanga ago mulekeraawo okuwa Museveni ssente z'okututta, mulekeraawo okusponsalinga genocide n'okusponsalinga bino abazungu bwe babisasulira bino. Tuli basanyufu tibaatandise otuwuliriza. European Union yeetagulidde ku nkola ya Museveni okujjako nga batandise okuwa ekitiibwa eddembe ly'obuntu. iPod mwalabye nayo yasibyemu ebyayo, DGF yasibyemu ebyayo. Tumaze ebbanga nga tusaba amawanga gano gateeke envumbo oba nati ku Museveni, mutabani we n'abo bakozesa okutemula abantu. Yes, tuli basanyufu ebimu bye twagala tugenze tubifuna. Aberu Kandiwo Saabatemu ne banne bagenze babasaka envumbo. Twagala bano bakina Ddamulira abakinanyi bonna babaseka envumbo. Naye tetwagala kikomaawo. Twagenda mu kkooti y'ensi yonna gye bayita ICC. Twagala Museveni bamufuniyeko ekibaluwa kibakuntumye kuba Museveni international criminal, is an international terrorist. Twagala bafulumye ekiwandiiko ekyo kubanga tumanyi Uganda eyimiriddewo ku ssente ze beewola ate ne bazeewola obutakulakulanya ggwanga lyaffe. Twalabye Museveni kubanga bamulemeseza okusima amafuta gaffe okufuula Uganda nga North Korea. Yakutte baana baffe abato abalimbye twagala abakulembeze b'abayizi ne babaleeta nti bagenda mu lukiiko ne babakwasa ebifaani mugende mwekalakaase ku lwa Museveni. Omuntu y'omu yatemula abantu nga mulimu abakyala n'abaana wakati wa 18 ne 19 omwezi gwa Novemba omwaka gwa 2020 kati ate yagamba abantu okwekalakaasa. Ekyo kirina bbalaga kibasebo ne bannyabo. Museveni oluvannyuma lw'omukwata awawaluma yagambye agenda kuwaba mu kkooti. Omuntu atawa kitiibwa amateeka agenda mu kkooti ku lwokwo. Mwali kumulabyeko Museveni ng'agamba abantu mugende mwekalakaase. Kati Museveni engeri gye yagambye nti kati ebyokwekalakaasa biri nnomu. Njagala obbakunga mwenna bassebo ne bannyabo bwe bawambako abantu be, bwe bawambako buli omu muli baddembe ogenda okwekalakaasa. Wonna we muli buli mukulembeze woli oba oli wa nnono oba oli wa ddiini oba oli wa byabufuzi kunga abantu bekalakaase mu ddembe nga babanja abantu baabwe. Njagala obbategeeza Museveni abadde ng'atemula abantu yatemula abantu baffe kubanga bekalakaasa. Ne paka kati akyakinyo